I'm going to show you guys what boxing propaganda looks like. I'm going to show you why people remain so ignorant and misinformed about the sport. It's done on purpose. Let's put these articles up here and tell me, can you catch on? Okay. Now, if you're not figuring out what's going on here, what they're doing is they're gearing up to have you blame Terrence Bud Crawford for holding up Jaron Boots Ennis' career. That's the narrative here, if you can't see it. Okay? Because everything's pointing towards him fighting somebody who hasn't fought anybody. Okay? So in order to get this fight made, and I don't know why they're so desperate to have this fight, they want you to believe that Terrence Crawford is holding him back. That's the narrative that they want to push out here now. And you can see it's an intentional, it's all hell in these articles. You can see it. This is something that PBC loves to do. They got this down packed, the propaganda part, you know? And the crazy part is, Jaron Ennis started off calling out Errol Spence. He called out Errol Spence long before he started adding Terrence Crawford name to it. And I remember the energy at the time when he was doing that. Jaron Ennis didn't deserve it, just like Terrence Bud Crawford didn't deserve it. He need to go do this, A, B, and C. You know what I'm saying? Even Earl say you need to have a little bit of money if, you know what I'm saying, you want to have a fight with him. But at this point, let's entertain these guys. If there was to make this fight, not only do you have to ask, what is there to offer as far as some accolades wise, like what does Jaron have that he can absorb from beating him? And then you have to ask him, what kind of money can you offer him? So you want him to fight somebody that's not going to do anything for his career if he beats him. And obviously you want him to fight him for a little less to no money, because we know y'all don't got the money to pay Terrence Crawford what he's currently worth. So what's the point of putting all this propaganda and stuff out here like this? Not only is it to try to make it seem like Terrence Bud Crawford is holding up Jaron Boots Ennis' career, peep this. This is also a leeway to keep fighting the nobodies that he's been fighting. See, that's the name of the game. I keep calling out somebody I know I don't have a snowball chance in hell of getting a fight with. So therefore, you won't say something when I fight John Doe, Mr. 500. That's really what it's about. See, this is the primary thing that I notice. Okay, you can't get the Crawford fight, Spence fight, whatever. One thing that I do know is you don't sit up here and bark at a dead wall. You go to the next best thing. So let me ask you a question. If I can't get a Crawford fight, if I can't get a Spence fight, what is the next best thing for me to do? That's how you're supposed to operate. Instead, some people choose to hide behind not fighting anybody by calling out somebody that they won't get a chance to fight no time soon, if ever, and then give you excuses to fight a nobody. And then they're going to turn around and say, well, I've been calling these guys out. And they'll be like, yeah, he has been calling them out and they ain't been giving him a shot. So that's the reason why he fought another John Doe. You see how that works? But the point is, you guys are not financially in a position to put on a fight like that. Y'all can't offer him nothing. Jaron Boots. Excuse me. Jaron Boots Ennis don't got nothing to offer. So what y'all asking Crawford to do, peep this. Peep it. What y'all asking Crawford to do is to do you guys a favor. It's obvious. The man's too high up to be having to deal with this. But this is the interesting part. And this is what I'm going to leave it on. Since y'all got all this hype about Jaron Boots Ennis, you know what I'm saying? And I like him too, but I know better about putting stock into somebody without putting them through the gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? Without the metal being tested. I know better than that. But this is the thing. The way y'all going about Jaron Boots Ennis, this is what I want to ask the aerosexual, or even the Errol Spence fan. Because this must be the case. So I want you guys to come out and say it. Because it's actually a trick. It's actually a trick question while being some real shit. Obviously, the way y'all going around about Jerron Boots Ennis and Terrence Bud Crawford fighting him, it's obvious to me you guys believe Jerron Boots Ennis is a better fighter than Errol Spence. How could that not be what you're saying? And I want to know, if that's what y'all saying, put it on the wood, because that would make it more interesting. That would make it more intriguing. You know what I'm saying? That'll get something tipping in your favor. If you guys will come out there and put on the wood that you believe Jerron Boots Ennis is better than Errol Spence, because indirectly that's what you saying, well, that'll put some mustard on the situation then. It won't help much, but it'll help a little. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know, obviously you guys feel Jerron Boots Ennis is a better fighter than Errol Spence. Do you or don't you? And if you don't, didn't Crawford just dog walk your boy? Didn't he? And if you do believe he's better than Errol Spence, then was Errol Spence all that? And was he really the truth? Was he any of that stuff that y'all named? If this dude with 30 fights in who ain't fought nobody, y'all seem to believe he's better than him? Unproven? That's why I say it's a trick question. There's no way you can win, but you got to answer it. Do you believe Jerron Boots Ennis is a better fight than Errol Spence? Because indirectly, this is what you guys are saying. Because you think he can do something that Errol Spence couldn't. That's actually backhanded to Errol Spence, but I'm going to digress. But I want to know, is that what y'all saying? Because that could make it more interesting. Because we can't go off of who Jerron Ennis fought. So since we going off hype and stuff like that, let's use the hype. Since y'all want to use hype to get him in a fight, why don't you use hype to cement the fight? Get out there and say that you believe Jerron Boots Ennis is better than Errol Spence, because that's exactly what y'all are saying. And since y'all putting the propaganda out there that Terrence Crawford is holding him up somehow, you know what I'm saying, and they don't want to see him fight, why? Tell me this, and this is the people from Floyd and all them. If he had an opportunity, can you tell us why would Terrence Crawford want to fight Jerron Ennis over Canelo? What does Jerron Ennis offer that eclipse a Canelo? In what category? Where? It ain't money, ain't clout, it ain't fame, it ain't notoriety, it ain't credit, it ain't. In what category does it benefit him more to fight Jerron Boots Ennis than Canelo Alvarez? At least Canelo Alvarez is proven. Once again, we just going off the eye test with Jerron Boots Ennis. Now, you give him some proper step-up fights, or you give him a Keith Thurman, we can instantly throw him in there. He don't even got to fight a whole bunch of these guys. Just let him mangle one of these guys, one of these top guys, one of these PBC fighters with a name. Let him mangle one of them, and we can go straight into it. We ain't even got to build him up like that. But it's funny y'all don't even want to do that for him. So who's really holding up Jerron Boots Ennis? Showtime and PBC. And that's the God honest truth. Y'all messed over that boy. Or he messed it over himself. Or he likes it. Because like I said, it's a reason why you got that many fights and no names. Your team knows something about you. And that's what we're dying to see. Because if it's not there, then why we ain't seen it yet? You don't go for the top dogs. If you can't get them, you go for the next best thing. It's common sense. Like, comment, subscribe, I'm out.